Welcome back to the channel, tennis fans. Today, we have a breaking story and a massive deep dive into one of the most electrifying narratives currently unfolding on the WTA Tour. If you've been paying any attention to the clay court swing this season, you already know the name that is on everyone's lips. We are talking about the 20-year-old Filipina sensation, Alexandra Eala. The headline we are unpacking today is bold, it is aggressive, and it is entirely accurate. Everyone is afraid of Alexandra Eala at the Italian Open, as she continues to grow in strength and solidifies her status as one of the most popular players in the world. Right now, the tennis world has descended upon the historic Foro Italico in Rome. The Italian Open, or the Internazionale BNL d'Italia, is a WTA 1000 event, one of the most prestigious and grueling tournaments on the calendar. It is the ultimate testing ground before the French Open at Roland Garros. The red clay of Rome is notorious. It is heavy, it is demanding, and it strips away any weaknesses in a player's game. You cannot hide on this surface. You need stamina. You need tactical brilliance. And most importantly, you need raw, unadulterated power combined with mental fortitude. And that brings us exactly to why the locker room is looking over its shoulder. Alex Eala has arrived in Rome, and she is no longer the underdog trying to make a name for herself. She is the dark horse that the top seeds are praying they do not see in their section of the draw. Think about the trajectory we have witnessed over the past few months. Eala is not just participating. She is actively disrupting the established hierarchy of women's tennis. Just a short time ago, she was a promising junior, a product of the Rafa Nadal Academy with a dream. Now, in 2026, she is a certified powerhouse. She has cracked the upper echelons of the rankings, surging up the ladder with a string of performances that have left veterans and analysts completely stunned. We saw her incredible run at the ASB Classic in Auckland, her deep pushes in the Sunshine Double at Indian Wells and Miami, and her fierce battles in Linz and Stuttgart. She is stepping onto the court with a level of confidence that is borderline intimidating. The fear factor is real, folks. When you have a player who combines a relentless, grinding mentality of a clay court specialist with the aggressive, fast-paced shot-making of a hard-court champion, you have a nightmare matchup for anyone. And let's talk about the popularity aspect for a moment, because it is an integral part of her aura right now. Eala is not just growing in physical strength. Her brand and her global footprint are exploding. She is carrying the hopes of the entire Philippines on her shoulders, a nation with an incredibly passionate sports fan base. Everywhere she goes, the crowds follow. The atmosphere at her matches is electric, practically echoing a Billie Jean King Cup tie. This kind of crowd support can easily rattle an opponent. When you step onto Court 1 or the Grandstand Arena in Rome to play Alex Eala, you are not just playing her. You are playing thousands of fans in the stands and the millions watching back home. It is a psychological heavy lifting that many players simply are not prepared for. So, in this extensive video, we are going to break down exactly why Alexandra Eala is striking fear into the hearts of the WTA locker room. We will analyze her physical evolution, her tactical masterclasses on the clay, her upcoming first-round clash against Poland's Magdalena Frech, and what a deep run in Rome could mean for her legacy and her chances at the upcoming French Open. Grab a coffee, settle in, because we're doing a massive deep dive into the phenomenon that is Alex Eala. To truly understand the fear that Alexandra Eala is instilling in her peers, we have to meticulously analyze her physical and technical evolution over the past year. Tennis at the WTA 1000 level is a game of microscopic margins. Everyone hits the ball hard. Everyone is fit. What separates the good from the great and the great from the feared is the ability to sustain explosive power and pinpoint accuracy over the course of a grueling 3-hour marathon. And this is where Eala has made exponential leaps. At 20 years old, Eala has visibly bulked up her frame, but she has done it without sacrificing her trademark agility. This is a crucial development. On clay, movement is everything. The ability to slide into a shot, plant the outside foot, and immediately recover to the center of the court requires immense lower body strength and core stability. Eala has clearly been spending hours in the gym, fortifying her kinetic chain. When you watch her hit her forehand now, the torque she generates from her hips is absolutely staggering. Being a left-handed player already gives her a natural geometric advantage. That heavy, spinning, Cross-court lefty forehand naturally targets the weaker backhand side of most right-handed opponents. On the high-bouncing Roman clay, that shot is lethal. It kicks up above the shoulder, forcing opponents to hit defensively off their back foot. It is a shot heavily influenced by her time at the Rafa Nadal Academy, and you can see the Spanish clay court DNA woven into her mechanics. But power is nothing without control and variety, and Eala's tennis IQ has matured light years beyond her age. In the past, young aggressive players often fell into the trap of trying to blast their way out of trouble, hitting unforced errors when a rally extended past 5 or 6 shots. Eala has developed a stunning amount of patience. She knows how to construct a point. She uses height and spin to push her opponents deep behind the baseline, opening up the geometry of the court before stepping in and pulling the trigger down the line. Her backhand, which is often a stabilizing shot for many players, has become a weapon in its own right. She can hit it flat and hard, or she can roll it with sharp angles to drag her opponents off the court. Furthermore, let us dissect her serve. Historically, the serve is the last piece of the puzzle to fall into place for young players. It requires a complex, highly coordinated motion that can break down under pressure. Going into the 2026 season, Eala's serve has become significantly more potent. She is finding a higher first serve percentage, and the pace has noticeably increased. More importantly, she is hitting her spots. Out wide on the ad court, her slicing lefty serve pulls the returner completely off the doubles alley, leaving the entire court open for a devastating first strike forehand. This 1-2 punch is saving her energy and keeping her opponents constantly on the back foot. Now, let's look at her 2026 season leading up to Rome, because the context is what makes her current form so terrifying to the rest of the tour. She started the year strong in the Australian swing, making a brilliant run to the semifinals of the ASB Classic in Auckland. She then transitioned to the Middle East, reaching the quarterfinals in Abu Dhabi and Dubai. But it was during the Sunshine Double in the United States, Miami and Indian Wells, where she really showed her pedigree. In Miami, she battled through absolute wars, including a spectacular 3-hour test against the veteran Laura Siegemund. She showed an iron will, an ability to suffer on the court and still find a way to win. We also saw her catch up with Miami Heat head coach Erik Spoelstra, blending her tennis journey with elite sports culture, further elevating her profile. When the tour shifted to Europe for the clay season, the expectations skyrocketed. Eala answered the call. At the Linz Open, she demonstrated immense mental toughness, battling past Austria's own Julia Grabher in a hostile environment, winning 6-4, 6-3. She faced relentless breakpoint pressure but held her nerve, proving that she can perform under the intense scrutiny of a European crowd. She then went to Stuttgart, an indoor clay event that plays very fast, and had a solid showing before heading to the massive WTA 1000 event in Madrid. In Madrid, she ran into Elise Mertens, a highly experienced and crafty veteran. While Eala absorbed a tough loss in the round of 64, that match was a masterclass in learning. Eala took away vital lessons regarding shot selection against defensive counterpunchers. And despite that loss, her overall consistency has pushed her ranking higher, currently hovering just outside the top 40. This brings us to the Italian Open. Eala has arrived in Rome early, getting her feet dirty on the Foro Italico clay. Her first-round matchup is set against Poland's Magdalena Frech, currently ranked number 45 in the world. This is a fascinating tactical battle and a perfect litmus test for Eala's current form. Magdalena Frech is not a player who will blow you off the court with sheer power. She is a grinder. She is exceptionally consistent. She moves beautifully, and she relies on counter-punching and absorbing pace. Frech had a deep run to the third round in Rome last year, so she is very comfortable in these conditions. For Eala, this match is about controlled aggression. If Eala tries over it early on, Frech will happily retrieve the ball until Eala makes an unforced error. Eala needs to use her heavy topspin to push Frech back, wait for the short ball, and then execute with precision. The locker room knows that if Eala gets past Frech, the momentum she will generate could be unstoppable. The draw in Rome is absolutely loaded. All the top 15 players in the world are here. We are talking about Iga Swiatek, the undisputed queen of clay. We are talking about Aryna Sabalenka, whose raw power can overwhelm anyone. We are talking about Coco Gauff, Elena Rybakina, and the defending champion, Italy's own Jasmine Paolini. But here's the secret that no top seed wants to admit. Playing a surging, fearless 20-year-old left-hander who hits a heavy ball is the absolute worst-case scenario for an early or mid-tournament round. The top players want rhythm. They want predictability. Alexandra Eala offers neither. She brings chaos. She brings heavy spin. And she brings an unyielding belief in her own abilities. Let's also delve deep into the psychological warfare of tennis, because Eala is winning this battle before she even steps onto the court. When a player begins to rapidly ascend the rankings, there's a tangible shift in the locker room dynamic. Veterans who previously viewed the young player as an easy victory suddenly feel the pressure. They see the results. They hear the analysts talking. They feel the crowd shifting their allegiance. Eala possesses a very calm, almost stoic demeanor on the court, heavily reminiscent of her idol Rafael Nadal. She does not smash rackets. She does not scream at her box. She just stares across the net, picks at her strings, and gets ready for the next point. That icy composure is terrifying for an opponent who is emotionally unraveling. When you are hitting your best shots, and the 20-year-old across the net is running them down and firing them back with even more pace, without breaking a sweat or showing a single negative emotion, it breaks your spirit. Furthermore, Eala's immense popularity is a weapon. The Filipino diaspora is massive and incredibly supportive of their athletes on the global stage. Whenever Eala plays, regardless of the country, there's a loud, vocal, and passionate contingent of Filipino fans waving flags and chanting her name. Tennis is traditionally a quiet, polite sport, but the atmosphere at Eala's matches feels like a football stadium. For an opponent who is used to playing in front of polite, golf clap crowds, the sheer volume and energy can be incredibly distracting. But for Eala, it is fuel. She absorbs that energy and channels it into her game. She has spoken extensively about how much she embraces the pressure of representing the Philippines, noting that she views it as a privilege rather than a burden. This is a level of emotional maturity that you rarely see in someone so young. She is not running from the spotlight. She is standing dead center in it, demanding the ball. As we look at the broader landscape of the WTA Tour right now, there's a desperate hunger for new rivalries and new superstars. The era of the Williams sisters is behind us. While players like Swiatek and Sabalenka have established a strong dominance, the sport thrives on challengers who can disrupt the status quo. Alexandra Eala is precisely that challenger. Her game translates perfectly to all surfaces, but it is on the clay where her heavy, tactical style truly shines. The clay court swing is a grueling war of attrition. It separates the physically elite from the rest of the pack. Eala's meticulous preparation, her physical conditioning, and her tactical intelligence make her a prime candidate to not just compete in Rome, but to contend for the title. Imagine the narrative if Eala makes a deep run here at the Foro Italico. A victory over Magdalena Frech sets up a potential clash with 31st seed Sinew Wang. From there, the path only gets steeper, potentially intersecting with the top 5 players in the world. But Eala has already proven she can beat the best. Recall her stunning victory over IGA Swiatek in Miami last year. She knows she has the game to dismantle the elite. A successful campaign in Rome would not just be about ranking points or prize money. It would send a shockwave through the tennis establishment. It would announce definitively that Alexandra Eala is a Grand Slam contender heading into the French Open. The media scrutiny is intense. The expectations are astronomical, and the pressure is mounting. Yet, Eala continues to look completely unfazed. Her team, anchored by the rigorous discipline of the Rafa Nadal Academy, keeps her incredibly grounded. She focuses on the process, on the daily grind of improvement, rather than getting caught up in the hype. This tunnel vision is exactly why she is so dangerous. She is not satisfied with just making the main draw anymore. She is not satisfied with a third-round exit. She wants the trophies. She wants the titles. As we wrap up this extensive deep dive into Alexandra Eala's campaign at the 2026 Italian Open, the core message is crystal clear. The hype is real, and the fear in the locker room is entirely justified. We are witnessing the real-time evolution of a generational talent. Her transformation from a highly touted junior to a physically imposing, tactically brilliant, and mentally unbreakable professional is a testament to her unparalleled work ethic. The combination of her heavy left-handed forehand, Her vastly improved serve, her unmatched court coverage, and the passionate backing of millions of fans makes her a unique and formidable force on the WTA Tour. The clay courts of Rome are unforgiving, but they also reward those who are willing to suffer, those who are willing to grind for every single point. Eala has proven time and time again that she has the heart of a champion. Her opening match against Magdalena Freck is just the first hurdle in what promises to be a spectacular tournament. Whether she hoists a trophy at the end of the week or simply uses this as a brutal stepping stone toward the French Open, one thing is certain. Alexandra Eala is here to stay. She is getting stronger every single day, and nobody, absolutely nobody, wants to see her name next to theirs in the draw. Thank you so much for tuning in to this massive breakdown. If you enjoyed this level of detailed tennis analysis, make sure you hit that subscribe button, smash the like button, and ring the notification bell so you never miss an update. I want to hear from you in the comments section below. How far do you think Alex Eala will go at the Italian Open this year? Can she take down the likes of Swiatek or Sabalenka on the red clay? Drop your predictions down below. Until next time, enjoy the incredible tennis from Rome, and we will see you in the next video.